I'm Jessica, and this is Natalie. We're both from Illawarra Shoalhaven Local Health District. I'm a diabetes educator and dietitian, and Natalie's a dietitian there. So today we're presenting on health change for people with type 2 diabetes. So we think this is important because people with type 2 diabetes have a lot of things to think about, a lot of complications that can happen, and it's really hard for people to change. So often what happens is they come to us, they get some advice, but once they go home it's really hard to make that change. So what our role is for us is to help facilitate that change and support it. So helping them work through strategies so that the change can be long term. So it can go several ways. So sometimes we find that people are really motivated, so they go home and they do everything that they need to do. They go to their appointments, they check the sugars, they take the medications, and then they get burnt out. And then they just think, oh well, I haven't done what I need to do, so I don't want to come back, and it's just all too much. Some people cope quite well, and then other people just leave the clinic and then they just don't make any change because maybe they've got something else going on in their life that's more important to them. So what our role, we believe, is to find out what's important to them and then work with that to try and get them to make the changes that help their diabetes long term. Yeah, I think that we emphasise that it's important to acknowledge that everyone's journey is different, and that if something doesn't work for them, then they can come back and we can help them to try something else that's different. So it's definitely patient or client-centred care, which is what ISLD promotes as well. Yeah, so it's a part of our role to connect with other services. So we're very lucky in our service that we work with endocrinologists, podiatry, dietitians and diabetes educators, so we do have that specialised service there, but we also have quite a close connection with their local doctors as well, which we believe that's their centre point to go to with all their main issues. So if we find that they're having issues with depression or anxiety or stress, then we would communicate with the GP to talk to them about whether they'd want to talk to someone else. We do also have options where, Beyond Blue or Lifeline or whatnot like that, where we can direct them towards as well. I think it's always been quite busy, so I think if you do look at stats, I think they are starting to increase still, like a steady decline with type 2 diabetes. But I guess what we're trying to do is, with health coaching, trying to reduce that kind of long-term complications. So instead of just, giving them our evidence that we know and just giving them strategies away, coaching them through making those changes so that they're long-term and we're not seeing the complications. And hopefully for people who are newly diagnosed, maybe keeping off some of the stronger medications like insulin with more diet and lifestyle changes. Yeah, so basically looking at all the aspects of their life, so their holistic, their mental health, their family life, their social life, educating them with their knowledge about why it's important to look after diabetes, but also kind of stimulating them to come up with the strategies about, well, because I know what's important now for diabetes, this is what I think I should do, and you'd say yes, or you could potentially direct them, in another direction if it's wrong.